May 19th, 2024, history was made. And history's being made on this channel right here, Vibes from the 6th, Vader Games TV. What an epic day. History we all witnessed. Rival fans, City fans, Arsenal fans. I know this is your channel, Egal. Shout out to Egal. He had me have this intro. History was made today. And it's not a light thing. It's not something that happens on the regular. We've seen great clubs win 3 in a row. We've now seen the only club, another great club, win 4 in a row. Manchester City. It's going to be an epic show. I'm going to do my best to be my humble self, like many City fans are. And we're going to break down what happened on this Sunday. Because I'll admit, I only watched the City game. I want to hear how the Arsenal game went. I want to hear how the Liverpool game went. But history, and look at this man right here. Went from star boy to star man. Player of the year, player of the match. He delivered 2 today. Let's not talk about does your club have history or not. We know that every respected club has history. But Manchester City in particular have something that no one else has. 4. And we're going to speak on it. We're going to break it all down.
W's in the shot. W's in the shot.
Talk to me. Talk to me, people. Talk to me, people. Of course, we had to let Vader go first, and before anybody even joins the stream to say his little bit. Man just won 4 league titles in a row, 6 league titles under Pep Guardiola. Of course, solidifying himself as the GOAT. You got Phil Foden delivering 2 goals on the final game of the season to help his team solidify the league title with no. And anyone who's questioning his credentials on if he deserved Player of the Year, that was a Player of the Year performance at the end of that game. Rodri also delivering the final goal, also to win you guys the game. I can see here disappointed, dejected. You're right, it is history, and I don't think that history is going to be replicated by anybody. You've officially now solidified yourself as the 4th most successful club in the Premier League. Officially, with those trophies this season, and the game itself. I watched your game. We're gonna start with that game right away.
Okay. You
guys did not even leave any room for error. Immediately scored 2 goals. 2 minutes into the game, basically made people switch off the TV. Gave a little bit of hope with a bicycle kick from thing, but then 52 crazy bicycle kick. But then 2 minutes later. It felt like 15 minutes later, the game was done. Rodri scored, game done, 3-1. You're never coming back. Yeah. You know what was happening with me over when I was watching my game? Bro, I'm nervous. My team, no Bukayo Saka. He's out injured, muscular injury. The performance was shaky. We concede first. You must have been celebrating when you heard we conceded first.
They talked about it. I was like, ooh, we got a little buffer, yeah.
Yeah, we conceded first. Then we scored eventually from Tomiyasu from a cutback from Martin Odegaard. And then to end the game, it became the Kai Havertz goal. They double-checked to see if it was a handball, which it wasn't, because the player shrugged it with his shoulder to get the ball.
Listen, Igala, if that goal was scored against you, you would say that was handball.
Nah, I've had goals worse than that scored against me. Anyways, long story short, it is what it is. We win the game. It wasn't a great performance, but at this point of the season, performances don't matter. You just need to win, but it's too late. We can't get any more points on the board. We finished the season. I haven't even checked how many points we finished with. 89 points.
Yeah.
City, what'd you guys get?
91.
That's how the cookie crumbles, bro.
That's the benchmark, man. You don't get 90 points. Apart from, I think last season you got 89, wasn't it? Was that right, Vader? 80, was it last season before? Season before when we finished a point behind you, I think it was like 89, 88 or something like that. But you've got to be getting 85 plus points minimum.
And this is the topic we're discussing, guys. So the Arsenal Man City sections together. So Ches, Jay, I know you guys are like hyenas. You want to talk about Arsenal. but at least give a little credit. at least give City a little bit of credit. Give them their plaudits before we talk about Arsenal for 2 hours.
All right, well, listen, we can praise City first of all, incredible work by Pep to turn us all into farmers. You know, like some of us have got our hoes, and you know we're going out into the field and we're ready. You know, it's good, honest work. This farming, you know what I mean? And what City have done is you know, obviously it won't be replicated. They do it every year. You know, they'll come into the side and there'll be people will look at the team and it's not clicking and they're not playing particularly well, or new players haven't settled in, and they just click into gear. And what it is with City as well is that they know how to run the race. Do you know what I mean? And they know how to pace themselves. So you know, they finish, you know, not head down, stretching for the line, but chest out, you know, breaking the finish line. That's how they do it. And you know, they've just got Pep has rebuilt the side 2 or 3 times in a 6-7 year period, which is quite unheard of. You know, if you look at the spines of the different teams that he's had, you know, whether you're looking at a Fernandinho and Aguero, a Company, a Laporte, you know, had Mendy as a big signing, got injured, made Delph left back, you know, like made Zinchenko left back. Like the guys, despite putting aside what City have done, I don't think there's another manager that you could put in that City team across this period and they'd have more than 3 Premier Leagues. Like I don't think they would have more than 3. Like I think what he's done is just, you know, we'll look at it, we'll look back now, and that one Klopp Premier League now doesn't look so bad, does it? Do you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden it's like,
yes, it does.
Well, not really. You're basically saying that he's the only manager in the last 7 years that's been able to beat him.
Listen.
Tell him.
I will say this: we've had. So wait, firstly, big up because you've been very humble all year, and you haven't given much chest like some people on the panel, and you have to come away with a trophy. And Man City, the best team in the land. You've been basically the best team for the last just shy of a decade, probably. And you guys deserve everything. If you cheated or not, that's a different debate. We'll cross that river when we get there. But I'm not going to be one of the shames people bring it up. Fair play. I like Jason.
You kind of just brought it up.
Of course I did. You see what I'm saying? It's all banter, innit? It's all banter. Because we're all brothers. Shout out Matisse. But yeah, man, big up. And yeah, like Pep is just, bro, he's just too good. Even shameless aside, we'll speak on Arsenal and Liverpool, obviously, Klopp's leaving as well. Shout Rack. But Pep is just the guy, man. He's undisputed the best coach we've ever seen. He's revolutionized the Premier League. He's just too good. Tactics, man management, charisma, transfer ID, communication, he's got everything you want in a manager. Everything. So for you to have that manager in your team, it's very lucky for you. And obviously enjoy it while it lasts, because football happens in cycles.
Facts.
The reason why I said that is because people keep mentioning to me, they've overtaken you. I'm like, yeah, they have. But like, football hasn't ended today, has it? It won't end tomorrow. It won't end the day after that, unless God comes, whatever. Cool. But until we're still all here, football's still playing.
Getting deep there, bloody hell. I wasn't expecting us to go there, but yeah.
When God brings the floods, I'm gonna turn to Chaz and say, "Yo, okay, like
Football,
still wins, yeah."
Exactly. So, yeah, man. I sort of first got out the way that Arsenal will get their thing and Liverpool will get their band up. At the same time, Man City is just too cold, and they've beaten us to many finals as well since Pep's been here. So I can't laugh and say, yeah, but taken away from me. But yeah, big up Veo and this Man City team, because 4P is It's mad. Voila.
You know what? Big up to everyone watching. This is the original panel. You're right, Ches. Big up to you for that. The panel this year. You guys have. I just want to start off by saying, you guys, big up to you guys for joining for majority of the streams. Of course, Rack and Ram has joined, but Rack, big up to you. Vader, you've consistently been here. Jay, you've consistently been here. Ches, whenever you're available, you're always here. Also, so big up to you guys for joining. Of course, big up to the people watching. Super chatter here. Thank you for the super chat, Pete. Come on, bro. Let's be a little bit more classy than that. He says, congratulations to Man City 1-5 FC. I see you in court soon.
Yeah, it's calm, man. It's calm. Any of that, all of that, I'm here for it. Listen, you think there's anything that can be super chatted or said that's gonna phase me?
Yeah. No. You know what? There's some people already trying to bring it to me. So first, I'm gonna say shout out Phil Foden, stepped up big time, player of the year, deserves the plaudits. And as much as I say Foden this, Foden that.
Yeah. I was gonna say you said a lot about
before.
One second. I will say at this moment in time he's up on the Saka Foden debate.
No, we told you this 2 months ago. We told you 2 months ago.
One second. In the Euros, that can change if he's on the bench in Saka.
No, it won't.
Okay?
But if you were Arsenal fans, you would back your guy, right? You would. You got back your guy to the end until the fat lady sings.
There's more, guys. There's more. That's not the point. After
I know. I'm just saying.
1 second. Let me address this message. After we. By the way, I don't block people. I don't block people for their footballing opinions. I block people who say racist things and just insult me without actually having any common knowledge or conversation about football. So don't say I just block people for no reason. And second of all, actually address your comment. This guy. So when we lost to Aston Villa, everyone said to me, "This is where you lost. The league is done." Right? And they basically said, "We've bottled it. The league is done. It's done. It's over. From here on out, everything that happens is irrelevant." Now, you can, in one hindsight, you could say they were right in the sense that, from the Aston Villa game, we gave up our power and City took over. But on the other hand, we still had to win all our games. We still had to continue to push. We still had to show fight and not give up. So to the people who gave up and threw their toys at the Prem, yeah, you might have been right in the end of it. But the team did not give up. Just because you did, the team didn't give up, the manager didn't give up, you continue to push. I still think it's a weak mentality. I still think it's a pussy move, and I still think people who throw their toys at the Prem after one defeat is some bullshit. After the game, you can feel sorry for yourself and you say, you know what, maybe that's where the league was done. I said that myself, but when I look at it afterwards, I said, yo, we have to continue to fight. So I'm not sitting here giving no apologies just because I know there's people waiting for us to lose this goddamn league title to Man City so they can go on their goddamn victory tours.
No, I think that's disingenuous, because I think
what part of it?
I'm going to speak for them because I can think logically as well as being shameless. I think their logic is they saw slip ups in the season that they saw. From their perspective, that would be probably enough to not winning the league. So you would see it from your glass half full, where it's like, so what, we dropped those points, we can make it up in other ways, we can keep pushing. But they've probably seen it as their standard is so high that if you drop points here, X, Y, Z, you're probably not going to win the league. And that's kind of played out how they kind of said. So I don't think they're saying, oh, we're happy we didn't win the league. I think they're saying, people hating on me for saying you drop these points, you might lose the league. They now look vindicated because they're right. To get whether Man City dropped points or not, they didn't. So like them saying, "Oh, we lost the league at Aston Villa" is actually that's not incorrect information.
One second, Vader. Did Arsenal lose the league at Aston Villa, or is it Man City continue to win their games?
This is the conversation that we tried to have the previous show. Now that the season's over, and now that we're able to see who won, who didn't win. If you're going to go back, you got to look at where you did drop points, not the fact of City continuously winning, right? Because had I slipped up today, I would have looked at dropping points today. Had I slipped up earlier in the season, I would have looked at that game where I messed up. So you have to go back to the last game that had the biggest impact on your run, and that's where you have to point blame. It's really that simple. But when you're fighting like this, when it's neck and neck, and Rax, they'll tell you this. When it's neck and neck, you got to look at where you stumbled. And I'm gonna use a running analogy, right? If you're doing the 15 or the 800, if you happen to get spiked up, someone clips your feet and you stumble out, and then the pack still continues to run on, you go on and continue to fight. You close the gap. Maybe you dip at the line and you're slight short. You go back and you point out. That's where the error happened. So you go back and you look at the game where it's like, you know what? We slipped up. We messed up. And I think Aston Villa is appropriate. Now, you didn't like it when I was also saying when you came to the Etihad and I was looking vulnerable. I was looking a little sketchy. You were playing some amazing football. Kind of expected you to be a little more aggressive, a little more courageous. Because that's a snowball. You show that we're here to fight. So you guys can best decide on when that happened, but you can't just say City just continued winning. That's why we didn't win this league. It doesn't work that way.
1 second. My point is we're not going to go back and look at the Aston Villa game because hypothetically, even if we won that game, there's no guarantee that we go on to win every other game.
No, but that doesn't matter.
You're deflecting again. You keep deflecting.
Oh, no, I'm giving you my take.
Take ownership. No.
1 second. There's a difference between taking ownership. Yes, I acknowledge that we didn't win the league, and I acknowledge that there was a point where we could have potentially taken it and gone the rest of the way and won it. Now, that did not happen. What ended up happening was we came short against Aston Villa. We came short against Fulham. We came short against West Ham. We dropped points at Chelsea away. We dropped points Liverpool away. We dropped points Man City away. We dropped points at home.
You're going too far back, in my opinion.
There's a lot of points in the season. There's a lot of points in the season where we can look at points being dropped. I don't think going back to the final game which we dropped points in is saying that's where we lost the league. That's just
one sec, Chess, because I just want to make this point.
One sec, because Jay says something that a gal is again not addressing, so I need to make sure he hears it again so he can actually address it this time. Veta said, when you stumble in a race and you might claw fourth or third, you look at the point where you stumbled. I agree with you, gal. I'm not going to go back to November time because it's gone and happened. And guess what? After November step up, Veta, cut him from wrong, it was still in Arsenal's hands because you man had games in hand. So even after you messed up, you still had your hand on the title race. That Aston Villa game, you go back, bang, that loss there. That's literally the most. That was only like a month and a bit ago. That's quite recently, right? That's literally lost the league.
And one thing I want to add as well is every season happens in a vacuum. Obviously, the overriding ability of your team carries over to the next season, but the season exists in a vacuum. And Arsenal, to me, this season, whilst they've done very well, and you can look at certain things and say, okay, certain things went for you. You know, like I look at a lot of your main players were available 38 out of 38 games. I know, obviously, you'll say Partey, but I'm looking at the Sakas, the Odegaards, the Salibas, the Gabriels, the Ben Whites. You know, they were available every single game this season. Will you have that level of availability from those players next season again? And the players that are missing and stuff, you know, how will that impact the team? So from my point of view, I think it's okay to be critical and pinpoint and look at games like Villa, because it comes down to the fact of, for me, coming into the season, I thought you were going to win the league. I'm never going to say, oh my God, Arsenal have bottled winning the league. It was never Arsenal are favourites to win the league. But I looked at what you'd done last season. I looked at the money you'd spent, and I said, I think they're going to win the league. Now, the fact that you haven't won the league, and 2 years in a row you finished second, I think it's appropriate to look at, okay, why did we not get over the line? What specifically cost us? And I think as a team, you've made good steps and strides, and you've got different play styles. And you just, from my point of view, you've got a lot of similarities with Spurs, yeah? And when we tried to win like the league or try and win the Champions League, we disregarded the domestic cups. And what happens if you don't win the league or the Champions League is that you end up having 3-4 seasons where you don't win anything, because you finish second in the league and you played well all season, but you end in trophyless. So I think it's really interesting to see what constitutes success for Arsenal next season, because they've been second, but they haven't won trophies. So now,
this is not success.
What I'm saying, Arsenal almost get to a point next season where it's all or nothing. Like, people will almost
that's coming. Don't worry, that's coming out.
Do you see what I mean? I'm almost saying that, like, Arsenal fans will, in theory, in their heads, be thinking, I expect a double. I expect to win the league, and I actually expect to pick up a domestic cup, because we've not been winning domestic cups. So I expect proper showings in those competitions. And also, they won't expect to finish second again. So you're going to expect... So, informally, a lot of Arsenal fans will be going into next season thinking, we should be looking to do the double. And that's quite a lot of pressure.
Let me just say, everyone, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. We have about 43 likes in the video. Big up to the 43 likes. But of course, there's over... How many of you is there right now? There's over almost 200 of you guys watching on YouTube right now. Hit that like button right now. There's no reason why we shouldn't have at least 100 likes on this video. And big up Pete Kenny here. Says Arsenal did its part, but the other 18 teams did not try. I'm proud of my team's performances this season, but we fall short, and we'll be back again. We'll be back at it again. I agree. We'll be back at it.
What is that? Yeah, what does that mean? That other 18 teams didn't try to do what?
Basically, he's basically trying to say the other 18 teams were not up there challenging like that.
You didn't win either, so what do you do different to us?
Sure, but that's different than saying I didn't try. What does that? I mean, like, what are you expecting Burnley to like?
Yeah,
I don't know. What's the expectation?
I don't know. Pete, feel free to further explain that point. Rack, talk to me. So Arsenal come short. Man City do a 4-Pete. Touch on a little bit of both. What are you thinking? How you feeling?
So my opinion differs from the other two guys.
Can you give me a consensus of what they said, by the way, quickly and brief?
So basically, the Villa Arsenal bought on it because they lost to Villa.
I didn't. No.
Because it was the last result that Arsenal dropped points in, and that's the point that Man City overtook them, and therefore that's my script.
I think what I'm trying to say, just to clarify before you go, I was more saying like, a guy kind of just pins it as, oh, Man City were better than us. That's why we lost the league. That's all he says. They were just better than us, and that's why we didn't win the league. But I'm like, I think it's more on them than it is City being good.
Bro, they could have lost the game anytime since they've lost that game to Aston Villa. They never lost the game. They could have dropped points at any time since we've dropped points to Aston Villa. They never did that. Their level of standard is just that high that they continue to turn out results. We can't. But
Igal, if you ask me the question, if somebody asked me genuinely, heart on heart, across the 38 games of the season, do I personally believe Man City have been better than Arsenal?
They haven't.
I wouldn't necessarily say they had, but I'd say that they have been more effective at cultivating points and than Arsenal. They and whether or not that means better or better at accumulating points, you know, like, it's subjective, but they are the champions, deservedly.
That's what
I'm saying to you, Rax, is that this line where we say, hey, the Villa result is that
hey, what a wonderful day.
We can basically say that to me is the one game that Arsenal played where, when I look at that Villa when City played them at home, or this, it's just the one game where they lost and they really shouldn't. In the last 10, 15 games, it's the one game where it really stuck out, because it was a game against a team that were a good side coming to their stadium, and it's fatal. It was a fatal defeat. So sorry, Rex, go on.
I think the issue is, it depends how you measure it. If you're literally talking about titles and that's your only concern, I can understand why you'd have that perspective, then fair enough. But Arsenal, in the second half of the season, they've dropped 5 points, right? Since January the 1st or whatever it was, they've dropped 5 points. That's an exceptional run. Man City have had an almost equally exceptional run. I think may have dropped a bit more points, but I think they were a few points ahead. So I understand where they demand almost perfection, but is it fair to demand almost perfection? I know you need it to beat City, But is it fair to demand that? Because realistically, there's been no other team that accumulates points at this rate since Pep's come to City.
Right.
We've kept pace a couple of seasons and come close, right? But Pep's, regardless of whether they're playing well or regardless of whether they're playing badly, City is a machine, and this is also part of the reason why. Even when Vader was trying to press me into saying, "Oh, a Liverpool favourites now," we know what City can do. There's a history and there's a track record of the last 6-7 years where City, when it comes to the crunch, they can do it more consistently than any other team. I think Arsenal are unfortunate, but at the same time, but what I'm saying is that.
Can we blame Arteta already, please? Has anyone blamed Arteta yet? I'm ready.
I'm gonna get to this. This Rack's point is like very like emotional. You sound like you're feeling.
It is emotional. But it's also realistic because but Ches, what you want? But then what do you want? Do you think you should have then got 53 points out of a possible 55 in the second half of this season?
Guess what the answer is, right? Yes. Do you know why? Because football's an emotional game, but at the end of the day, facts are facts, numbers are numbers, isn't it?
If football wasn't emotional, none of us would be interested.
No, that's not my argument though. My argument
we wouldn't give a shit. If it was played on paper and played on Football Manager.
I'm here for the tears. I'm here for the tears, but I think it's all a case of like I hear your argument.
Numbers aren't numbers though.
Rack saying that
it's a false narrative.
It's not. Rack saying it's not fair. It's not fair, man. Why do you need to get 90 points? Guess what? Everything in life is relative.
Like it's expectations, right?
It's not Chelsea, United, Spurs, Arsenal, the Man City are so good the way they are. It's just how football is. Football happens in cycles. United had their period, Arsenal had their period, Liverpool had their period. It just happens. It so happens that in a certain period of time,
Stop it, Rack.
So Rax is one person who agrees with me.
No,
Finally.
Rack should not be agreeing with you.
I'll tell you why he agrees with you. You both came second. That's why. You're both failures.
Why not?
No one's actually given City any big credit, by the way.
I gave them credit.
Not really. It seems like here's a compliment. Like have a compliment. They talk about it's just like City were good. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's like I was listening in the background while I was making my sandwiches because I decided I don't want dinner today.
City are 3 league titles away from Arsenal, matching our league title.
Yeah, but that's not hard though, is it?
13.
Yeah, that's not that hard, is it? Like, let's be fair. Like Chelsea, it goes to show how you know what? It goes to show how pathetic Arsenal are. You know, since I'm off loan now, I'm ready. Ches, I'm on it. Yeah, I'm done with your fucking club.
To the team.
Don't worry, I'm done with your club. You let me down. You let me down, Agal. Yeah, let me speak now. Yeah, because I've had enough of your shit. Yeah, I've been having to back your Arsenal, your shit club, just to make me look like a fool, and I've already made myself look like a fool with Man United already. Yeah. So, anyways, I fucking hate your club with a passion. Yeah, and I'm glad. You know what? I hate the City 4 Pete, but then a certain group chat reminded me why I'm glad that you fucking lost, yeah? And let me tell you why. They tried to deflect, yeah? They tried to deflect onto Man United at 8th place to try and bear the pain. Nah, man, only feel the pain, yeah? It's from Adam Deacon in another hood. Not me. Not me. Fuck your club, yeah? I hate everything you man stand for as fans. You're dusty, and guess what? I'll be back on your bandwagon if you're better than City next year or competing. Don't you worry. I'll do my U-turn there. But right now, I've had enough of your shit. What hasn't happened? I haven't had Arteta, bro, he could be finished, yeah? And when I say finished, not this season, I mean, if you don't win nothing next season, trust me, the banter is going to be elite. And the thing is, no one's actually said it's Arteta's fault. In Arsenal, has no one pointed out the guy done an absolute mood swing, yeah, like he was on his period and decided to play Kai Havertz in central midfield over someone like Jorginho, someone more competent, yeah? This guy thought he had it in the bag. His arrogance let him down, yeah? Because he thought I could run that against an Aston Villa side. And you know what? The only man on this panel that was back in Aston Villa when it comes to the Arsenal game, because I remember it clearly, was Jay. Was actually Jay. But we
Jay's
all got
surprised. Jay
carried
forgot
away.
all about that.
No, it's good because I remember because we were talking about the Bayern. No, I remember because we were talking about the Bayern game, and I said the way that Bayern attacked Arsenal, Villa can do the exact same thing. And because I remember, I did forget, but I remembered. So yeah,
it's like I just don't understand this man, and maybe that comes down to, you know what? I think players have to share blame, of course, but I think the players have actually been quite phenomenal. If I'm being totally honest, I think it was I want to blame on the players a lot, but I don't think I can. The only one I can blame is the maybe the Martinellis for not stepping up, maybe the Jesus for not really stepping up as much. Wherever I can big up Kai Havertz, I can big up Saka for all his GA, regardless of his performance. I can big up the midfield. I can definitely big up the defense. But some decisions, that one decision is what cost it, and that's what happens when you're overthinking it. And that's called the Pep gene. But the difference with Pep, he can solve one of his issues in a heartbeat. Like it doesn't.
It's a good point, because one point to just add is if you look at Pep like Nunes or Doku or some 1, 2 couple of games, like. Because obviously Havertz did well. Havertz has had a good season, but he had a number of games that he had to play himself into form. At City, Nunes dropped a stinger, and I saw his face on milk cartons. Couldn't find this brother. Yeah, couldn't find this brother Nunes again. Pep is like, you ain't messing up this 4-Pete. You know, get your splinters on the bench.
Can I say one thing though?
Go ahead.
Vader at the beginning of the season said Pep is tinkering. He was playing players as they were strikers in 10. And Arteta, when he was doing the exact same thing to start the season, and we dropped a couple points versus Tottenham, versus what do you call it? Was it Fulham at home?
Yeah.
And then we dropped points versus a couple teams. People were saying, "You're done. You're not in a title race. You're not challenging." There was a point in this season where Arsenal were actually 4th and Aston Villa was ahead of us. You guys remember that?
No, but it got what I'll say in regards to
my point is my simple point is, although there was points in the season where Arteta was tinkering and he was he was figuring things out, we still got ourselves in a position where we ran the table. We figured out the lineup. We figured out the best.
Okay,
but we started slow, unlike similar to how City does.
Yeah.
And for the first time, a team that in Arsenal that started slow was able to get themselves in a position where they were.
Do you know? Can I add a bit of context as well upon this Arteta thing? Because I know Ches wants to say something on that. Yeah.
I'm impressed by what he did. I'm not.
Oh yeah. But I'm not I'm not really impressed by Arteta this season. I need the defense really, because what I don't understand, you spent 200 million regarding Timber, I would say, because it was unfortunate, to a more degenerate type City team because they had no Gundo in that. They didn't even work out stuff, as you said. To go from to do one better, you spent 200 million to be one draw better and one loss better. So a few points. You should have hit the 90-point mark this season.
Was it this stream or your stream where I said to a guy on you, man, that it's closer to go from 4th to 2nd and 5th to 2nd is 2nd to 1st? And I was proving right this season. I said that before the outcome of today's game. I'm telling you now. You might be thinking football goes like this, linear. No, football doesn't happen like this. Because if it did, it'd be predictable. If football was like this, it'd be predictable. Chelsea will finish 12th, 6th, 3rd, 1st. But guess what? Football's not that simple, is it? So my thing is, don't go into next season getting naive, going, we can do this again. All we need is a striker. Because how do you know a striker's not going to mess you up?
The thing is, the season just ended today. I'm not sitting here saying guaranteed we're going to go win the league next season. But what I am saying is...
You need to, girl. You need to. It's not a choice. You have to.
Bro, you just told me not to do that. And now you're telling me, listen, this is what I'm saying.
No, I said you need to be able to look at your team.
Oh, my God.
Be honest about your team.
Bro, listen to what I'm saying.
I don't think you're being honest about your team.
Ches, you don't listen to people when you just respond. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? I'm simply seeing. I'm not sitting here arrogant. I'm not sitting here arrogant and saying my team is guaranteed going to win the league next season. My team's guaranteed going to be there. Sorry. I'm saying my team strengthens and we play as well as we did this season, and we add a couple pieces. We're going to definitely get better. And I think my team is the only team that's going to be equipped to face City. And with the improvements we can make, I think we can then get over the hurdle. this thing where it's like, oh, I'm guaranteeing a league title, I'm guaranteeing my team's going to win. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, looking at what I have in front of me, I have the raw materials to deliver a league title. We just haven't done it 2 years in a row. Next season,
but there's a clip going around ago of you saying in summer,
if we add more,
trophy, you want him out.
Can I add on to that as well after Gal? The thing you guys are mistakening with the mistake you guys have is you think because Arsenal have somewhat progressed, but they haven't gotten success, that it means it diminishes everything that they've done this season.
No, 100% not. 100% not. 100% not.
I think we're building, and we've built the building blocks of a good team, of a good core. I think one of the most balanced teams out of all the teams in the Premier League. And you guys can probably agree with that. What we're missing is probably that difference maker in the front three that can get us a goal whenever we need a goal. We might be missing a little bit more squad depth in the midfield. It's not too much that's needed to be improving this team. We have everything. We have the raw shell. We just need to add a couple pieces here and there. And Ches, you're right. There's no divine right to be there at the top of the league. But with the situation that I'm looking at the landscape of the league, I don't see a Chelsea team that's ready to compete. I don't see a Liverpool team that's not in transition. I see the worst Manchester United in the Premier League era. I see a Tottenham team that are in their second year with Ange Postecoglou that fell off in the business end of the season when they're trying to get top four. So the only team I look at that is a tangible reason to be up there, it's Arsenal again.
Yeah, but
you're right.
Changing your argument every single part. First part of the season, you were saying Man City a week. Then you were saying we're going to win the league. Now you're saying next season.
All that's correct though. Man City were weak. They were.
His wording is what lets him down.
Bro, there's no wording.
One sec. You said I don't listen, but you're not listening. How about you listen?
I'm listening to you. You're wrong.
You interrupted me. How about you take words in your own book?
I think Vader's got more.
This is the argument. I heard many arguments you said today. It's like,
so do you want
to City for the league? Who gives a crap? You didn't win it. So next season you need to win it. It doesn't matter if you're the only team equipped. Focus on yourself. Don't focus about other people. You need to improve your team. You need to improve your management, like Kaz is saying, those tweaks and whatnot, your left 8, whatever it is. And you need to go and win the league. Because next season, you're going to use other excuses.
Yeah, but that's football though, Ches, isn't it, man? We all change. I think the guy you can be you can be right at periods in the season. I think Veti can even admit at one point without Rodri, they looked a bit weak and they didn't really look like they had a solution. They weren't blowing teams away. Sometimes they're winning 2-0, 1-0 and stuff. You can add that and can still be correct, right? At the same time, I know Arsenal. I don't know what you think, Veta, right? But I do believe next season you have to probably get 98 points to win because. I'm not being funny. This City team's got. I'm sure Pep will address the defense a little bit better. They will definitely address the midfield a little bit with more quality, 100%. Whether it's Paqueta or Bruno G, they will be getting some sort of cover and they will be spending money. And they will. And this is the hitters. Arsenal need to go out there and don't think. Oh, you know what I can think. Let's put in a cheeky bid for Marcus Rashford because I feel I can make them get the best out of it. Not that shit. Go get something proven. And go get something that's going to really give you a game-changing moment. Rashford could be that, but I want 100 mil. But the thing is, off of that, is whom? And that's where it comes down to Arsenal's board, because I know City's board are probably going to more than likely going to get it correct. And we're going to have to see how Tim integrates as well, right?
Yeah, but Kaz, one thing I always understand, I always hear with you is, and I want to understand how you reconcile the two things is, one is when you ask for a certain amount of money for a player, but then you also say that player is dog shit.
Oh yeah. No,
I just want to understand why. How are you allowed to ask for 100 million?
Because I can do this.
Rate him.
All right, let me put it like this. Yeah, when I'm seeing Brennan Johnson go for 50 M's, when I'm seeing other English or UK mandem go for whatever footballers go for certain prices, I'm looking at like, okay. Then for someone who's got the maddest PR in the country, for someone who plays for Manchester United, who's got 4 years left on his contract, right? MBE warrior, yeah. You want English tax? If I ain't said that yet, I want, like I said, I want about 90, especially a rival team.
But then you're happy to keep him next season as well, right?
You know what? He's the least of my concerns out of most players because there's a lot more to dig out rather than a Rashford. Do you get what I mean? Like at this point, like there's a lot to focus on in midfield, defense, and then you can nitpick maybe other little positions that can upgrade. We still need a second striker or some sort of striker that can push Højlund or whatever. You still need maybe another right winger because it's all dusty over there other than Ahmad. That's it. That's from the Man United perspective.
All right, let's hear from Vader. He's been quite quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem being quiet because I'm gonna be celebrating all damn day and night. So let me say this, and this is
Were you
why.
worried at any point?
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Did
Back in November. Back in November.
He scared you, right?
Rax, don't do that. Rax, don't do that.
No. I wasn't talking about the whole season. I'm just talking about today.
Yeah, no, today I kid you not. I had a restless sleep. I had a restless sleep. I was up by like 3 in the morning, and it was just thinking about this game because again, it's not.
Does anyone believe this man? Does anyone believe this man?
He had indigestion.
I had a great night. I ate well, but in terms of sleep, I was up thinking about okay tomorrow, because again the game for me is 11. The game took place at 11, but it's waking up and it's catching everything that's happening on the timeline, and then. I know that these are players playing with emotion. I know that these are players on the cusp of history, and that can mess with your head. Because to win 4 in a row, you got to win 3 in a row, and when you miss out on it, this is never going to happen again. So I'm thinking about how the players might adjust and how to play through it. But when we think about this game, shout out to John. When I think about this game, the reason why I didn't like how Rax was moving is because Rax is talking about having to be so consistent and win these many points. Do you not remember how this man won the league? He literally blitzed it.
Wait. When you say he, you're pointing
Rax in Liverpool. They blitzed this league.
You pointing that J in. I was like, wait, when?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's just so yeah. This guy.
Yeah.
Literally almost perfection to win this league. So when he talks about it's kind of unfair, no, that's the level you need to take it at. When you're going to strike when the iron's hot.
But how many teams have ever reached that kind of level in the history of football?
It's not about the number of teams that have reached it. It's about the ability because your team. Hold on.
But it's about how realistic. It's about how realistic is it to reach that level.
No, it is realistic because his team that went invincible. Sorry, over here, his team that was invincible. They got 90 points, and this was years back, and they didn't suffer a loss. So that level is possible when you have things dialed in. And you Rax, for 3 years got 90 plus points, and the year that you won it, you blitzed it. So this is kind of unfair. It's what it takes.
But, okay,
Rax, I remain on mute for a long time. Let me go. There are moments when it's required of the manager, of the club, of the players, and of the fans to get this through. I'm looking over at Ches. And when he won it, 93 points when Jose came into this league, doing a madness. So sometimes that's what's required. So there's no it's unfair, But this game and this season has been amazing. And when Kaz was kind of bringing up City not quite looking the same, he's absolutely right because I went through the season with no Haaland, no KDB, Rodri in and out, Silva in and out, pointing out when all Arsenal fans were telling me about them winning on their grounds. I didn't really have my best team. But what I want to point out is sometimes you got to be like this. You got to be like this. And I get a little bit of praise from some in the chat saying, Vader, you always seem to be kind of calm. The fan base is kind of calm. They're not really irritants. But sometimes you got to be like that to kind of get through something like a 4-peat. I saw when Arsenal didn't even drop points, but they look a little sketchy. They got a late winner. That fan base were losing their heads. So I don't know. Again, when Igal wants to talk about next season, I don't know if the fact that you didn't win 2 seasons in a row, whether the fan base are going to be calm enough to let things kind of go like this next season and expect you to get here again. But that's what it's going to take. You can't go flying off the rails with drop points or even looking poor early because you can't always be compared to your peak. Imagine if I was a City fan and every time I referred to my club was the Centurion season. Like, I'd sound crazy. So if you guys don't look like your form of last season, but you're still amongst the mix, you're still in it until you can get to the finish line late, that should be enough. But
to be fair, you're right, because this season you guys could argue we didn't play as well as we did last year, but we have more goals, a better defensive record, and we were much more better at accumulating points, but it wasn't enough. Guys, I think that's enough on the title race. Congratulations to Man City. I'm not somebody who's not going to congratulate you. You guys did well, and you guys tipped us to the league. Fair play. At this point, all we can do is just hope that we can be there and thereabouts next season and do the adequate things needed to improve in the summer. We're going to address it a lot. And I think there's another topic that we need to discuss. And it had a lot of people crying. It had some people singing, dancing all over the place. Rack, farewell to Jurgen Klopp.
What pathetic man. But go on.
Why?
Whoa, easy.
Pathetic. He's pathetic. He's actually pathetic.
Pathetic.
Even before he leaves, he's talking about spending money and stuff like that. What a pathetic man.
Is that what
honestly.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Called it.
Let Rack have his moment.
I don't know. I mean, he's allowed to have his opinion, right? Why is that pathetic?
No, but I'm allowed to have mine, and I think he's pathetic. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but why do you think?
Because even in I don't remember Arsene Wenger or even Jose Mourinho or someone that's better than this guy getting a rate like this.
Literally called it financial doping.
No, I don't remember any farewell party getting like this. Yeah, absolute pathetic of a man. Yeah, and even before he leaves, he still talks about other teams spending. Like, allow it. That like keep it within the club, keep it within Liverpool and your achievements and all that shit. Yeah, in my opinion. But when you're starting to talk about other opinions, like about spending and all this kind of stuff, and that we can outspend other teams, and we done our spending right, as he said.
Is that factually correct?
No, that's
factually correct. So that's not a matter of opinion. That's not a matter of opinion, man. That's actual fact.
Salty, man. I hate Liverpool, man.
Okay,
honestly.
that's your interpretation of it.
He's a Man United fan, so of course he's gonna hate Liverpool. Rack, what do you have to say on the whole? Let Rack have his moment.
Yeah, Rack. This is the day celebration, Rack. Go ahead.
Look, man. No, but it's cool. Like I think everybody at Liverpool is sad to see Jurgen Klopp go. He's been a big part of the club for the last 9 years, and he goes with our best wishes. And look, man. He said it right. Could we have won more? Possibly, we could have won more. We had opportunities to win more, but I'm still content. I'm still happy. I'm happy with the football that we played, what we competed in, where we were, what we went through, the goods and the bads and the uglies. And some people will say, "Oh yeah, you should have done more. You should. How can you be happy with all that kind of stuff?" And that's their opinion, and that's fair enough. That's down to them. But you can only. I'm going to go back to what Chez said about football being emotional, right? It doesn't really make sense to support a football club, right? What's the point? No one at Liverpool. No one at Liverpool. No. But no one at Liverpool.
It doesn't make sense.
No one. I
understand.
But no one at Liverpool knows I exist, right? No one at Chelsea probably knows Chez exists, and no one and Jay, all this kind. It's a one way connection. It's entertainment, right? But all of a sudden, we form an emotional bond to a thing, an entity that doesn't even know that we exist. When people talk about fans are consumers, ultimately, in the real world, we are consumers. FSG look at me. I'm sitting here with my Liverpool top on, and think, oh yeah, we'll buy another kit next season, right? Or we'll buy a ticket next season, or we'll buy a corporate hospitality
you're a hurt
package.
man, right?
Wait. But this is why. But ultimately, the reason why we do it is because the way it makes us feel, and I think every Liverpool fan. I don't know any Liverpool fan. I don't know any Liverpool fan who's disappointed with the way that Klopp's managed us. What we achieved. Could we have done more? Sure.
You should do.
I'm content, and that's it, man. Like if you've got a different opinion, that's fine.
I heard it right.
I don't
wanted Klopp out last season. Do you remember that?
No, they didn't. They didn't. You don't know.
The ones I know.
Okay, that's not half the fan base. But that's not half the fan base.
I'm going to call it half the fan base. Twitter and all that kind of stuff. It all adds up. Like a lot of man wanted Klopp out. Yeah, I've exaggerated it. It could actually be more than half.
Sure.
But I remember they wanted Klopp dead.
So some people mentioned Klopp out.
A lot of people did, I think.
Rax, I need a couple things because I don't like what I'm hearing. You sound dejected. Fans don't really matter.
I'm sad. Look, when Pep leaves, will you be sad?
When Pep leaves, will I be sad?
Don't think you'll be sad.
Yeah, of course he would.
No, I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to be sad.
Maybe not. Why'd you be sad me then?
What? I was sad when Alex Ferguson left. Like, what's going on here? Like, he done what Klopp did in 10. What? what he done in 9 years, my manager done in 10 days,
Why
bro.
would you be sad? That's ungrateful, bro.
Because
I'm gonna cheer. I'm gonna recognize what he's done. I'm not gonna be sad for no longer being at the club. He's still gonna be part of the club, but we all deal with losses differently, right? Some do have sad, some celebrate, and they tried to make a celebration of this departure or this farewell, but it's been the longest farewell, right? It's been around for a minute, and I've been counting down the days. No lie, I've been counting down the days. This cigar.
Where's the calendar? Vader, show us your calendar.
No, I don't need to bring up the calendar. I said May 19th. This cigar is getting lit out of recognition for Klopp because I recognize what he's been for the league. But I need you, Rax. Be honest now. When you think of the manager and his farewell, when you think of everything that they've been doing, it's kind of like all to be expected. It's been extended a little too long. And I get it. You guys are media darlings, so
but it means more though.
You know what, Kaz? Because it means more, I had to go, instead of not winning one, I had to win 4 in a row. Because it means more at Liverpool, I ended up having to win 4. So continue to put this out there, Liverpool fans, saying it means more over there. But Rax, honestly, Klopp's been amazing. He's been a challenge. I wouldn't say that he's raised the level, because once Klopp came in, it's not like
it's funny you say that though, because Pep said he raised the level.
He
raised his level. Pep said he raised his level. Fine, you can say that, but your manager, the greatest manager arguably in football history, said that. So I'm
gonna say that Klopp raised Pep's level in terms of head to head, but not with regards to the standard of the league. Pep did that before Klopp came in. Or sorry, Pep did that while Klopp was in the league, but Pep set that standard, not Klopp. Because the Centurions is what made that benchmark for these 90s that you're trying to console Egal and say, it's not that fair.
Yeah, Pep's known for to be a big liar, man. He's a liar.
Pep says what he's got to say sometimes. But the standard set, the Centurions, that's Pep. The 90 pluses that need to happen, that's Pep, not Klopp. But the head to head, I agree with you. Now, I think.
Wait. You think Pep was lying when he said this?
For the future, Arsenal gave it a message.
What did he say?
I don't get that. What did he say?
Yeah, what did he say?
He said that for the future, Arsenal are giving a message. They're going to be here, basically.
That's cute. He also said when Aguero left, he said we cannot replace him.
We can never replace him. We can never replace.
Yeah, we could replace him. What do you mean? Why are you doing that?
We can never replace him. Got Haaland. Man got Haaland.
Yeah, 2 years later, it took 2 years to get him.
We can never replace him ever. Man got Haaland. Highest goal scoring season.
We didn't know they were going to get Haaland at that time. But I'm gonna say, Klopp, farewell for a good reason. He mentioned all the things on why he can't continue doing it. He also said, which I found kind of interesting, he wanted to be a regular guy. Like, he wanted to just be able to walk the street and not have to be the football guy all the time. And I can understand that. It'd be interesting to see where he ends up, because I think this is just like, hey, I'm going on vacation. I don't want to continue coaching over at Liverpool anymore. But one thing that I will say in terms of a difference, this is no slight. I think this is advice for all future clubs. Make the manager just be the coach. It's not the years of Sir Alex Ferguson when he had a hand on everything at the club. That's when you can get to burnout, because in this day and age, there's so much that needs to be specialized in. Let the coach, and let everybody else bring on additional staff to do all of the other stuff, scouting, and all the other managerial stuff, but make the man coach. And I think that's why Klopp's burnt out, because he took on a little more than what he needs to do. And what's interesting, Rax, is that you're bringing in people now for the next coach, manager, and slot to just be a coach. So you could have possibly avoided this burnout had Klopp not taken on so much. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I think that's possibly true. I think in that regard, I think Klopp kind of made a rod for his own back, because ultimately Edwards left, Julian Ward left. These are guys who are part of the support structure that I felt disempowered, or for whatever reason they felt they couldn't do their job adequately. And then Klopp wanted to take on that responsibility and take on more responsibility than he had previously. And maybe that may have been a factor. I don't know, but
yeah. You're right. The thing is, we've been shameless now because this stream is all doom and gloom and everyone's emotional. You got a gal crying the whole summer. You got Rat crying because he's got slut coming
I'm not crying. But listen, I also think.
Yeah,
I also
actually,
think.
Rex, get away from the edge. Get away from the edge there.
Right.
No, but I also think. Look, ultimately, if he doesn't think he can do the job, then I think it's fine. It's fine that we end, and it's fine that we can find a new manager, and hopefully we go again. That's all you can do, right?
Of course. For your club, of course, you're going to hope that. You're not going to hope that you stay mid-table, do you? But what I was going to say was,
be joining Chelsea, eh?
Just do your coach. Yeah? Anyway,
I want to know. I don't want to spend too much time on the Jurgen Klopp thing. Anybody else have? I personally think, you know what, he's going to go down as a great. And in this time that he's gotten this Liverpool team to win numerous trophies. Unfortunately, they didn't win more. You can say it's underwhelming. You can say whatever you want, but he's going to leave a club legend for them, and he's going to be remembered for this small period of time where Pep dominated. He was one of the guys who was up there with him competing on a regular basis.
To be fair, Chelsea didn't have one manager, but we won the same amount as them though, minus one Carabao Cup. So what I'm going to say is like, it's been good for them because they've never won a Premier League before, and he bought the first trophy for them. But holistically, it's been like an okay campaign because since they won the Champions League in this period of time, Klopp's been here, Man City and Chelsea have also won one.
The stretch of time you're talking about,
it's like it's good for them. It's good. This has been good for them, Miguel. For the league, it's been like average to poor. Because our Liverpool...
No, hold on. No, hold on.
No, it's not hold on, Jam.
Relax. Let him finish.
There's a rising tide.
Let him finish.
I'm just saying, there's a rising tide, not raised boats.
I'm not done yet. So you can say about the ships all you want. You're waffling. Anyway, as I was saying,
I'm going back on mute. That was rude.
That was rude.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, as I was saying, Nigga, it's good. You were saying, it goes down as a legend, great manager. Like, I guess so, but like, it's good for them because they never won the Premier League before. And Rat will tell you they bought them the kind of like the forgotten, unlocked trophy that they never won before. And that's a massive thing for them. But like they haven't done anything like spectacular in the last 9 years. They just haven't. Chelsea have done the same as them, minus one Carabao Cup, which no one cares about. But we get told we're flops the last 5 years.
Igal, do you think Arteta can match what Klopp's done in 9 years?
Champions League's going to be tough.
So you're telling me you can have one Premier League and a few cups?
1 second. I think he could get more league titles, but I don't know about Champions League because as a club, we're cursing in the Champions League.
Do you think you can exceed that if Pep stays?
If Pep leaves, probably. If Pep stays, it's going to be difficult. Anyone who's going up against Pep, he's more likely going to win most, maybe every 2.
By the way, that statement he made is on the assumption that Arsenal stay where they are and everyone stays where they are, by the way.
And Rax, stop with this. Well,
Ches, we've gone over.
I'm just saying.
1 second. Guys, Ches, we've gone over this 16 times. Do you think any other team is going to be up there besides Arsenal?
But you said,
you answer.
No, can I just say one thing?
Stop deflecting. Answer the goddamn question.
Do
you think anybody else will be there? No, because you keep doing this thing. You keep doing this. No.
Let me ask the question then.
I'm sick and tired of it. Every time we speak about the future, you want to say what gives you a right to be there. And then when I broke it down for you, you said, you know what, that makes sense, but I'm not talking about that. And then now you bring it up again. So I'm gonna ask you, name the club. I'm done. Name the club that's gonna be up there with City and Arsenal next season.
Cool. When is Pep leaving? That's before I answer the question. When's Pep leaving, bitch? Is it next year?
We don't know.
His contract is on 2025.
Inshallah.
Whether he extends, we'll see, but he ends.
Cool. So if you're asking me, Agal, are you going to be the only club? No. Because
so who's the other club that's going to be there?
Pause. In a year's time or 2, in 2 years, 2 years ago, where was you, Agal? Where was you?
I was in 4th. I was challenging for 4th.
No, yeah, exactly. What were you doing? What Spurs are doing? What are Liverpool doing? So why is it inconsistent?
Stop it.
Let me ask the question.
Stop it. Answer the question. What's the club? Who's the club?
I'm telling you, give me my answer and you're interrupting me.
Bro, you're not giving a club. You're giving a hypothetical.
I'm going to give you the answer if you let me finish.
Go ahead.
I'm saying to you and the panel, 2 years ago, Arsenal were challenging for 4th. They're now challenging for 2nd. What's to stop Liverpool, Spurs, and Chelsea reaching where you are now? Nothing. We've got more money than you. So I'm saying, in my opinion, it will be, because you asked me the question, we answer it. If it's 2 years, I think Chelsea, Liverpool will be there. If we're saying 1 year, I think Liverpool could be there with you.
Okay. I don't think Liverpool under the first year transitioning with the new manager is going to be able to be challenging, especially with the amount of change that they're going to be doing with their back.
Yeah, they're starting at a higher peak than yours.
Number one. Number two, I think Chelsea is 2 years away from even being close to competing for anything at this moment in time.
Says who?
Based on the age profile of your team and the fact that how we've seen you perform.
very well, though,
I'm saying, 1 second. I'm saying before you even challenge, you have to show me the consistency to get top 4.
You don't be consistent last.
No, but you challenged before you even showed top 4.
Exactly.
No, we challenged for top 4 before.
No, you finished 5th and then went to 2nd.
I don't think Chelsea have shown the consistency or continuity or anything.
That's incorrect. Jay,
I would say in the last 4 months, Chelsea have shown that they definitely can do something.
Since November, since when we beat you, we've been fourth. We've third.
It's not even just that. It's like the only games I can think that Chelsea have lost off the top of my head is when they got battered by Arsenal, and then I literally can't think of and that's like the last
It was Wolves. Jay was Wolves away from home.
So Chez got the guns out. He's drinking his protein drink. Don't mess with him right now. You don't want to mess with Chez.
Since earlier in the stream, earlier today, he said I could see Arsenal winning the league next year. But every time I speak about the future, you keep bringing up other clubs. So just say going forward, you believe if Arsenal don't win the league next year, you believe Chelsea or anybody else will overtake us.
I never said no.
You said
you mixed my words. You're putting it all in one. I never said any of that. I said you keep talking like all the other teams who are your rivals are going to stay the same, and you're going to stay relevant.
I'm not.
No, but what I'm trying to no. You said you did earlier because guys, correct me if I'm wrong. The guy will not say to you, man, that out of all the teams here, he's the one next year who's going to be challenging and all that.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm the best prepared for it.
That's what I was rebuttaling because 2 years ago you weren't even getting fourth, and now you got back-to-back second. So I've got more money than you, more resources, better recruitment, in my opinion. Wasn't stop me from being there in 2 years or winning it.
I don't think you don't have resources anymore.
Because you don't have the players that are ready there now.
But you didn't have the players 2 years ago.
I have them now.
I got to drop. Let me say this, Jay, because I got to drop, and then you guys. All he's pointing out, Igal, is when you were fifth, and look at the clubs that are 5th or 6th right now, you challenged the following season. You went from 5th to challenging. So he's just pointing out the clubs right now around that mix, they could challenge next year or the year after. That's within a 2-year shot. It's all realistic. But you're kind of taking it like he's saying that you're going to be gone. No, he's saying they're also going to be in the mix. I want to apologize. I got to drop. Fantastic vibes from the 6. Rax, I don't like you that close to the edge, my guy. Move away from the edge.
Solid glass, man. Solid glass.
All right. Blessed to all of you, Kaz, Jay, Chez, Igal, my man. And we'll catch up. We'll link up soon.
Peace. You know what? We were gonna actually speak about the other clubs quickly: Chelsea, Spurs, and Man United. I was just gonna say, Kaz, do you have anything to say about Manchester United's worst finish in Premier League history?
Absolute shit show, mate. Fuck them. I don't like Ten Hag. Get rid. There you go. Big up Højlund for getting his 10th Premier League goal, I suppose. That'll do. I mean, he's 2 off my prediction of what he is. 16 and 2. He's not that bad for a 20-year-old. 21 now, I think. Other than that, it's still the same shit. It's just good to see regular fit. Well, the better faces back, like Lissandro and Varane, who got minutes. Dare I say, yeah, that's about it. In a bit.
Okay, fair enough. Jay,
couldn't bring yourself to praise Bruno, no?
No, you know what? I've actually liked Bruno last few games. I'm not. There's nothing to really criticize, but he's already been back, so there's nothing to really say on him.
What's the deal? Is it? I mean, do you think he's likely to get sacked, or because obviously it's like touch and go whether they're going to swap him out or?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is he definitely getting sacked?
I think so.
Yeah,
he's definitely gone.
I'm just saying. I'm in belief. Ten Hag's gonna go in it because if you're gonna back the manager, you would have done it by now, and you would have shown that faith, especially before FA Cup final or something like that. But I think it's probably in best interest that nobody knows really anything, and it's probably in best interest that to make the decision formally after like Barada arrives and stuff like that, yada yada. maybe a week, maybe I would say by the end of May, innit? So then you know what's going in for June, like, so you know what transfer it is. The less the people know, the better. I do wonder what he's gonna be, but I don't think it's him, man. Because come on, man, it's just mine's just a guess. I don't see how he stays in it. Personally, I don't know how he stays.
Okay. We can all talk about Manchester United in a bit because I'm gonna do a whole another show on Man United, but Chad's gotta go. Let's talk about Chelsea quickly. Chelsea finished 6th. Are you happy with where you finished, knowing where you were at the middle of the season?
You know what, girl? In hindsight, I'm actually not, because Aston Villa lost today. I'm only 5 points behind them.
Oh, they got that, hey, bro. They got slapped.
They got slapped 5-0 away from shout out Crystal Palace, by the way, because they had a mad turnaround. 19 points up,
But you think you could have finished top 4?
100% if we were a bit more competent in the league. I know there's if buts and maybes, but if I look at my own team performances, Kaz will tell you we do streams all the time. Guy, we do streams every week. We've dropped points, we shouldn't have dropped points. Like we've been playing decent 90% of the season, and we dropped points we shouldn't have. Burnley, Sheffield United at home, we won those games, we'll literally be comfortably in 4th right now. And that's not unrealistic next season to improve from that. So this season, I'm happy with the overall finish, Europa League, and I think moving forward, we have a very, very, very bright future. The only problem I have is Poch hasn't proved anything in terms of winning trophies, and I bash Man United and Arsenal for that pause, but we haven't won any trophies yet. So I keep saying
there's no pause when you're talking about a club. You're not talking about a person.
People nowadays kick people up again. That's the problem, innit? But I think next season we could definitely. I expect top 4 next season. I can't lie. If we're 5 points away from it, drippy, drossy season, how many points away from the Spurs who considered how good they were at the beginning of the season? 6th place isn't too bad considering. But I expect
you've never lost in a Europa League campaign. So since you're in the Europa League,
there's pressure. I can't lie. I expect to win that trophy. I can't lie to you. Like if we're getting top 6 and top Premier League is so tough, we've got good players coming in. We're probably going to get a striker. We're definitely going to get a centre back. Probably going to get a left back. We're looking at going to get Elise. Bro, I'm very, very confident in this team. And do not be surprised if I have more chest next year. If you come shameless this year, it'd be worse. Because I think we're going to get the top 4 next season. I think we will.
Fair. I'm not. We're gonna just wrap up the show quite quickly. So before we go, do you have it later, bro? Tottenham miss out on top 4. How do you feel, Jay? I told you you should have beat Man City, or you should have got something from Man City. You maybe would have got top 4 still.
Well, them be the breaks. Unfortunately, happiest I've ever been with a defeat in my life. Shit happens. Son goes through and goal and misses. What a shame. So yeah, I think we bottled top 4 to an extent. Our season kind of reminded me a little bit of Leicester's season a few years ago. When they were in the top 4 for a lot of the season, and then they just fell out of it just at the end. I think for where the team's at, I always want us to play at the highest level because I think it's better for you. I think you learn quicker, you develop quicker. Do you know what I mean? You understand what's not working well. So with that being said, then I'll come away and I'll say, right, the team overall, I was thinking, what did I give the season? I give it a 7 out of 10. I think, we've scored more goals than last season. We've conceded less. We finished 3 places higher. We've brought some good players in who've bedded into the team. As year 1 of rebuilds go, it's been pretty good. So I give it a 7 out of 10. And next season, I want to see us try and get as close to 80 points as possible and win a trophy. I think obviously winning a trophy is a big thing next season. I actually think that the fans would accept finishing outside the top 4 again if we won a trophy, and finishing back-to-back years outside the top 4 isn't great. But I think now
80 points would almost certainly get you in the top 4.
Yeah, that's true, but that's just an aim. It's like this is an amount of points I'd like us to hit because it would show good progress. You're basically saying that's what, like, I don't know, was 20 or maybe like 24 wins, few draws. So with that, I just look at it as being pretty solid, and I see this as the floor of the project. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, this is the floor of the Tottenham project with the squad we've got now. The squad's going to improve. We're going to buy better players. Like, you see in the last couple of games, you've seen Van der Ven play left back, and then you've seen slight tactical tweaks from Tottenham. So now I'm like, okay, cool. Because the one worry I had about Ange was, is he like a Bielsa type disciple? Is he incapable of adapting his methods? Are we going down with the Titanic, as it were, from a tactical point of view? And against City and shifts and adjustments he's made, I'm like, yeah. The manager's a tactico. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, he's gonna do this stuff. But this season was just all about broad strokes. Next season, it's about the more minute, more nuanced details. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. But next season, the expectation, just like you guys, this season was a free swing for Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Next season, people will be like, okay, how have you done in the Carabao? How have you done in the FA? How have you done in the Europa League? Do you know what I mean? So
I like it. More expectations.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I just want to say, Andrew Wright here says, Liverpool, if we didn't have City and Real Madrid, we would have won more. Yeah, you would have won 3 league titles, and you would have had 3 Champions Leagues. Crazy.
Yeah, it shoulda, woulda, coulda. I get that, and you can't expect that. But the only thing I'd counter with what Ches said earlier was that we were, during that period of time where we were playing our best for that 3 or 4 seasons, we were top 2 or 3 teams in Europe. Like, it was us, City and Real Madrid. We were on that higher level, and yeah, we only won 1 Champions League and 1 league title for that. But when you're at that kind of level, the margins are very fine, and unfortunately for us, it didn't quite fall our way. But that's football, man. That's life.
Yeah, and that's it for Vibes from the 6. Season's done. Final game. Kaz, you're going to be doing your show at 10 o'clock. Guys, go check it out. Never a Foul. I'm going to redirect to that right now. And boy, like, I'm just disappointed, underwhelmed, but I'm not throwing my toys out the pram like certain people asking for the manager to be sacked and all these other things. It is what it is. We go again next season. It's just eventually we have to get this done. We can't just constantly keep pushing it down to the next year. Eventually there needs to be a finish line. So I'm going to keep it consistent from now to ever. I hope that Arteta delivers something next season, and hopefully that we're not sitting here again trophyless coming to the end of the next season. I really wanted that Premier League this season. I'm disappointed we didn't get it. I really thought numerous times that it was our year, but we just came short. And this Man City team, this Pep guy, they don't lose, man. It's just underwhelming. Underwhelming into a good season. No, I can't even say a good season. Underwhelming ending to what could have been a good season. Kaz, you have anything to say?
Not really.
It's
No.
okay, Gal. There's always next year. You know.
Yeah, you told me there's you need to capitalize. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that you have to capitalize when you, because who knows if Declan Rice doesn't break a leg in preseason or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, like, obviously you don't know what. Like, I thought with Spurs it was just gonna continue, and then all of a sudden players' form just falls off a cliff. Do you know what I mean? Someone just stops. Like, Eriksen just stops being good. Do you know what I mean? Like, Toby's legs just suddenly go. Like, and Arsenal aren't quite in that mold, but it's like next season, you saw, like, this season with Martinelli, yeah, how his form was not the same as the season before. There's certain players in the team who their ability or their level, we don't know whether or not it's going to maintain, whether it's going to drop, whether it's going. Some of them could improve. So I if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm looking forward to next season. But all this stuff, like, I'm proud of my team, and you need to stop that, because you guys need to be consistent. Because when Spurs were doing what Arsenal are doing now, all you guys told us was it's about the trophies. It's about the trophies. It's about what you win. And now you guys want to do a positive, trust the process PR. And you gotta own it. You gotta Oh, you mean summoned by Lee Gunner? Oh my god! Oh my god! He got good. He's been waiting for this day all season, hasn't he? To finish second.
Best believe I'm not joining no stream.
Don't do it.
I'm going out. I got something calling me. I'm watching the NBA playoffs. I'll catch you guys later.
Yes.
Have you guys a wonderful day. Big up Rax, big up Jay, big up Vader, big up Ches, and of course Kaz. Go check out Never Foul at 10 o'clock. I'm out of here. Peace out, guys.
Yes. Wow, he's
done. Yeah, he did go. We got control, guys. We got control.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the stream.
Now the real show can start.
Like the stream is actually still going. Like this is